Hello, everyone. My name is Doug Popovec. I'm a technology education teacher at the middle school in Slippery Rock School District. Today's video that I prepared is on Screencastify and how to use Screencastify in the classroom and using it for issues like we had this past spring where we had to come up with lessons of a video nature and post them either to classroom or email them to a student or um, make up lessons that were different than we would do if we were in person. So if you follow along with me, I will teach you how to set up Screencastify from the beginning and show you some of the things that I learned throughout the process when I used them last year. Hello, everyone. I'm back, and I'm going to start from the initial setup of the Screencastify. Now, some of the things I can't really show you because I already have this installed in my Chrome browser. And once you have it already set up in the Chrome browser, you can't go back through the setup process. So you're going to have to be in Chrome. So I'm in Google Chrome right now, and you would start there by simply going into Google. You type in Screencastify, and it's all one word, Screencastify. And when you search it out, you're going to come up with a lot of results, of course, but usually this comes up first. Screencastify #1 screen recorder for Chrome. Click on it. It'll take you to their website. Now on mine, when I get this result, it says right here, it says already installed there and there. Now when you get it, if you have not installed this, you will have a blue box that asks you to install it. So what you want to do is you want to click on that, and it will add the extension. It'll start the process to add the extension to the Chrome browser for you. I'll go to something on the Screencastify website right now. It shows you some pictures of what's going to take place if I do that. So let's get into here, the initial setup. It says install the Screencastify extension. You could either do it from the website or you could do it on the Chrome Web Store. Either way, they both work the same way. I just did mine from the website, and I usually have people go from the website because some people have problems with the Chrome Web Store for some reason. So if you're going to go from the website, you simply go to the home page. You do what I said. You click on the little blue add extension to Chrome, and you're going to come up. It's going to come up with this. And what you want to do is you want to select add extension, just like it's showing right here. You click on add extension, and it will add it to your Chrome browser. Now, from what I understand, it has changed since I installed mine. I've had mine for about 3 years now. And it's going to ask you a couple questions when you first get in there. So once you get in there, let's see if we can find that right here. Yeah, it's going to say to set up the extension. It says log into the extension. That's what, and you need to make sure that you're logged into your Google account before you do this. It makes it easier. And if it asks you, do you want to automatically save videos to your Google Drive? Definitely say yes, because it will save so many issues in the future. Accept the permissions. It's going to ask you for permissions to extension to run. So make sure that you say yes and you accept all the questions that it asks you. And then it's going to ask you to introduce yourself, it says right here. That's pretty simple. Now, there's a couple things I can't show you, like I said. One of them is how to get started with recording a video. It's very easy to do. Once you have everything installed and it's ready to run, you're going to see this little arrow up here in the upper right-hand corner. Okay, and that is the shortcut for Screencastify. When you click on it, normally you get a little pop-up, but since I'm already recording using Screencastify, I can't show you what that looks like. So when you do it, it's going to ask you a couple questions, and there's going to be a little box that pops up. It's kind of small. It's going to be about that size right here that I'm showing with my mouse. And it's going to ask you, do you want to record the browser tab, your entire desktop, or do you want to just record yourself from the webcam? So I did that at the beginning of this video. I just recorded with my webcam. I didn't do any of my desktop, nothing from the computer itself. It just used the webcam, which is kind of nice because I did an introduction. I didn't have any desktop stuff from my computer on there. I usually use this option where I record my desktop and I put my, I normally don't have my video here. I'm only doing that for today just because it's a demonstration purpose. I teach a lot of software, so that's why I use Screencastify, and it allows me to show the kids everything that I'm doing on the screen, and I'm able to share it with them for them to get caught up on lessons. And I think that's the biggest thing about Screencastify is I'm able to record my lesson for the entire period if I have the pay version. If you don't get the pay version, it'll max you out at 5 minutes. If you get the pay version for educators, it's unlimited with unlimited storage space. So that's the one I went for. So if I go up here to pricing, we can go in here and see. Normally for anybody that's not an educator, it's free, but you get 5 minutes per video, which isn't very much. And it's $49 per person if you're not an educator. If you click on this, it will show you the price. And this is what I pay per year. And it pays dividends for me like you can't imagine, because we all know whenever we have a sub coming in, for instance, and there's some things that are just really confusing, hard to get across to the students, and we have to be out. I use Screencastify to make a video, and I will then share that with the sub, either by sending it in Google Drive or sending an email to them, or I share it someplace where they have access to it, like on a thumb drive. And then all they have to do is put it in the computer, and they're able to watch it. They get my full understanding of what I need and what I expect, and the students also get that full understanding, which I think is a really great thing. And like last year when we switched over to completely online, I was able to make videos every single one of my lessons. I was able to post them each week, and the kids were able to follow along with my lessons. For instance, I teach CAD, and they could follow step by step. They could pause it, they could try it, they could watch a little bit more of the video, pause it, they could try it. The kids had a great understanding of how to do it because they were able to watch me do it by watching my mouse clicks and me drawing the objects myself and listening to my description of what I wanted them to do. And of course, I have it linked with Classroom, so they were able to ask me questions and do anything in that way. So if you're going to go the pay route, you want to do that from the beginning. Click on Get Started and go through the payment process, and then you will start out with the unlimited recordings, like it says right here. Now, right now I'm doing a recording, which is pretty nice, and I'm able to go in and record anything I want. I can go any tab I go to, it's going to record everything that is on my screen as it is right now. So if I want to go here and check out some more things, for instance, this is that little box that I was talking about. When you go to record, it's going to just come up with this. It's going to say, what do you want to record? You want the browser tab, desktop, webcam only. You could choose to shut off the webcam so you don't have to be on the screen if you don't want to. You can turn off the microphone if you want to just do a video of how to navigate something on a web page and you don't want any sound whatsoever. You could do that. Another nice feature they have down here is if you want to annotate things with some tools. So there's a pen down here. If I want to say, okay, I want you to look right at that. It doesn't write perfectly, but it gets the point across to the kids. So you can annotate things. You could, of course, erase things. So it's not like using a smart board or anything like that, but it gives you a tool that if you want to draw a couple little annotations on there, it's pretty nice. down here also is if you want to stop your recording, let's say something happened and you want to pause it, you could simply hit the pause button. You could get it. You could turn off the webcam real quickly. Let's say you wanted to not get something in the background or something. You simply click that, turn it back on, and you're back on. This will stop the recording. Or my window right here, there's a little box down at the bottom where I could say stop sharing. Now, of course, I don't want to do that now because I'm doing a demonstration on how to do this. A couple of things are going to be tough for me to demonstrate, unfortunately, and that's what I'm trying to work through right now. So once you go through that initial setup, get everything set up and get your first recording started, what's going to happen is if you chose to upload it to your Google Drive, it will immediately go to Google Drive. So I could go to my list of videos. It's not going to, I don't think it's going to let me. Let's see. Because I'm already working in here, it's going to give me a problem with getting to all of my videos. So let's see if we get this thing to go. Bear with me for a second. It's going to say it's signing me in. Extension setup, got that. So after the initial setup, I figured out I'd have quite a few problems with trying to show you how to do this, especially since I'm trying to demonstrate the software that I'm actually using while I'm recording the demonstration. So I'm going to just have to go through the tutorial that Screencastify has on their website. And if you have any issues, if you just go to the user guide, it has a step-by-step process of how to use this. Like I said, since I'm using the software to record myself, to demonstrate the software, it just won't let me show you certain things, which is kind of troublesome. So I showed you the initial setup already earlier. If we go to the recording, what you're going to see is how to make your first recording. It tells you first, you want to click on this symbol that's up here in the upper right-hand corner that I showed you. You want to choose either browser tab, so you can just record one browser that you have open. So I have a bunch of them open. I can just choose to record that one browser, the entire desktop or the webcam. And it's going to narrate it if I turn on the microphone, and you could turn on and off, like I said, with the tools earlier. So there's that little window again. And when you end the recording, what's going to happen is it's going to pop up on the screen, and it's going to show you, let's see if it pops up here. What should happen is it pops up the video of you that just was recorded. It's going to show a little progress bar going across the screen in the upper right-hand corner, and it's going to upload it to Drive if you gave it permissions earlier to do that. And I do strongly recommend that you do that. Once it goes into your, you're going to see this like this, all right? Once it goes in there, then you'll have access to do whatever you want with your recordings, whether that's send it someplace or how you're going to use it. So I'm going to set that up here in a second, so bear with me and I will be right. All right, so I figured out if I keep stopping the video and I can show you different little pieces because it pops up on the screen and then it's locked on the screen. So once I stop a video and I finish the recording, you're going to see this right here pop up. Okay, and what these are is you could copy a link and you could send it in an email to somebody. You could get embedded code and you can embed it into a web page. You could share it to your classroom very easily by simply clicking here. And that's the really nice thing is, or you could publish to YouTube if you have a YouTube channel. This is very easy software to use. You just have to take the time to sit and play with it. Very simple. It's really hard to screw up because it's very, very user-friendly software. So if I wanted to share this video with one of my classrooms, first of all, I would rename it because the name just comes up as a generic default name. I might say that this is a tutorial. Hit enter, and it just simply renames it that quickly, and it does the same thing in your drive. Now, if I want to share this video to my classroom, I simply click on share to classroom. And it thinks, and then it shows me my classroom because I'm already logged into Classroom. That's one thing you want to make sure. You want to make sure you logged into Google Chrome. You want to make sure you're logged into your Classroom to make sure that all this works seamlessly, and then you don't have to be doing a lot of logging in as you go through it. I can then go in and choose a class, whatever class that may be. I'm going to just throw it in my 6th period class. Choose my action. I'm going to create material, and I click go. All right, and then it asks me, what do I want to do with this thing? Well, there's my title, and I'm just going to put in there that it's my test, and I click post. Just like any material you use, it just goes in there pretty simply. I go here, I could go into my 6th grade, and I can see right here, it posted it in my classroom that simply. Then, if you've used Classroom a lot, then you can simply go in and do whatever you want with that. Put your notations on or whatever so the kids understand what they're supposed to do with it, which is very, very simple. So I'm going to get rid of that so the kids don't think I'm sending them an assignment during the summer. We'll get there, and I will go back to where I was before. So get embedded code. That was if you're putting things in a web page, there's always a section where you can embed code for a video. So I could take I could get embedded code that says there's my code, copy the embedded code, and then you take it to whatever you wanted to do, whatever web page you wanted to put it into, you would then get into that. Quite a few problems with trying to show you how to do this, especially since I'm accidentally hit play on there. Sorry about that. And I can go into, let's see if I could get back in here. I think I could get into my web page software. Let's see. I don't know if we still have access during the summer. Let's see if it works. Miscellaneous. Special. It takes quite a few clicks for me to show you how to do this part. So there's my tech ed page for the website for the school district. Now ours is powered by EdLeo, our website, but most of them work the same way. So basically what I did was I made a web page with all my lessons on it. All my videos from Screencastify, I just shared them to here. And if I wanted to put in some type of content, I could simply add it to there. And for some reason, I am not getting my action that I wanted. It's not allowing me to do that. Oh, there we go. So there was my source code up there, and you saw when we were doing the video details, see get the embedded code. There's the symbols right there for the embedded code. And when I'm on my web page, there's my symbol there for source code. It all depends on what you have. I would simply paste it in there. Well, this is getting glitchy, trying to do this. And it would then paste the code in there for us to be able to see that video that I just created. So I'm going to get rid of this one because I don't want that back in there. All right. So that's how we share the classroom. That's how we do embedded code. And I don't have a YouTube channel, so I can't show you how to do that. But I mean, most people have used YouTube, so it's a simple process for that. Also, if I'm going to publish to YouTube, of course, it's just going to go right in. And like I said, if you're logged into everything you're going to use first, so if you're going to go into YouTube, make sure you're logged in. If you're going to use your classroom, make sure you log it in first. It keeps you from having to do it throughout the process of doing this. I'm going to take a little pause here, and then I'll be right back. I'm back again. What we did earlier was we went through initial setup, then how to record, and then how to export some of your videos out to Classroom and how it goes to Drive and YouTube and such. The next part is how to edit. Now, if you have the pay version, you're able to edit, which is really nice because we all make mistakes and we need to clip things together. Unfortunately, like I said, I can't show you how to do it on my recording, so I'm just using their resources from the website. When you go into the video editor, if you used any type of video editor before, it's very simple. You're just dragging clips here and there to make the recording look like what you want it to. If you had mistakes or you want to put different videos together or whatever that might be. And this is what you're going to see once you try to go into the editor, and there's a box right on your video that says go to the editor, and it'll do this. It'll sign you in, and then you're in the editor. All right. Now, what you'll see down here is your video clip at the bottom, and that video clip is able to be cut at the beginning or end by simply grabbing the beginning and dragging it this way, or grabbing on the end, dragging it this way. So you're able to cut the beginning and end. You can't cut something out of the middle and get rid of it, but you can shorten the beginning and end of the video. You can also add videos to an existing video. So I could simply add something onto my video if I wanted to allow me to make a longer video out of individual clips. And that's what I'm actually going to do with this video that I'm doing right now. I'm going to add multiple clips together to make a longer Screencastify recording from those individual clips. All right, let's see if this works or not. So here's the video I uploaded to the editor. So the editor works by simply allowing you to drag the beginning to cut off the beginning of the video, or grabbing the end and editing the end off the video. Now you can also add clips. I have to get rid of my video right now, so I'm going to take that off of there because there's a button right here. It says add clips. So I click on add clip, and it'll ask me where I want to get the clip from. Well, I'm going to take it from Google Drive. It's going to take me to my drive. There's a folder that's going to be created that's Screencastify. And there's all my Screencastify videos. So I could choose any of these videos. I could take one of my CAD videos. I don't want to do that because they're really large, and I don't want to mess things up here. So I'm going to take one of these. Maybe I'll take my intro. Take my intro, and I'm going to then select it. It should add it to the end of this clip down here, the original clip. And there it goes. Added it right to the end. Now, if I had a mistake at the beginning, I could cut the beginning of that. I could also shorten the end of it. Now, like I said, I'm having a hard time doing some of this stuff because a lot of the tools are covered up, different things here, and I could edit the end of it. Then I could add another clip to it and another clip and make a longer video out of the other videos that I'd made in the process of trying to explain it to the kids or whatever I wanted to do. Now, once you're done, you simply go up here to export and you're able to export that video. It's going to ask you, do you want to export it to Drive or to MP4 format? I'm going to export it to Drive. It's going to ask me what your name wants to be. I'm going to call it test. I'm going to hit save. It's going to process the video, and it's then going to send it to your Drive after it finishes up putting all those videos together. So it's a pretty simple process. I'll show you in my Drive once we get there. I have to wait for this to load. And that's another thing. You have to wait until this progress bar goes the whole way across in order to see your video in your Drive or on your web page if you did the embedded code. Sometimes it takes a while to do the upload, so you have to be patient. You have to take your time and not rush things because you will freeze things up sometimes if you try to rush. You click too many times, so just take your time. If you get stuck at any point, you can always go back to their webpage, which has very good steps to follow. That's how I did it originally. Once I started going through it, it was so simple to do. And like I said, I've been using it for about 3 years now, and it saves so much time. The benefits I see to it are so great. With being able to save it to Classroom, I have all those resources in my Drive. If I'm going to be absent from school, I can do a video lesson plan that I could leave with the sub, or I could just share it with all the kids because they all have access, and then they can watch the video, and then all the sub has to do is monitor the classroom while the kids watch my video of my lesson, and then I don't get days behind because I was out for a day. And we all know that happens, and this takes away that issue. So I hope I was helpful. I know it was hard to follow along because I couldn't demonstrate some of the things, and I apologize for that. But when you're using a software to demonstrate a software and trying to record it, sometimes it just doesn't work perfectly. So I hope you learned some things from following along with this tutorial. And if you have any questions, you can email me at Slippery Rock School District. And the code for the class is DCP02. And it's Screencastify. DCP02. Thank you for watching. In closing, I just want to touch on this one more time. I know I may have been a little bit confusing at some times because I couldn't show some of the functions of the software. I apologize for that. It was giving me issues with using the software to record my desktop and try to demonstrate it. I hope it wasn't too confusing. If you did get confused, I recommend you go back to the Screencastify website, go to For School, go to Resources, and that will give you that beginner's guide to start from scratch. There's also, after you get that all working and understanding how it works, there's a Master of Screencast course you could take that shows you a lot of other things you can do. There's 50 ways to use Screencastify in a classroom. There's a Genius level class, and there's 25 ways to use Screencastify with Google Apps, which I started looking at that myself. And they go through a bunch of different things on how to integrate Screencastify with different things, with Sheets and Gmail and Maps, Google Drawings. There's all kind of different resources here that will be really good for integrating if you use a lot of Google things in your teachings. So once again, hopefully you learned something from my video tutorial today. Once again, I apologize for being a little confusing there at some points. I hope you learned something, and good luck with Screencastify. Thank you.